if it is true that he's a grand Ayatollah, that mystical power extends and can be, he can anoint his prophets, and he can remain in power even if he doesn't hold the title of president. And if that's the case, then there's no relief from this that is achieved by election, especially if we are truly in an authoritarian regime where elections are not real.
I'm sorry I had to subject y'all to that, but I came across the clip. Full disclosure, that clip has absolutely nothing to do with what this video is about to be about. But I came across the clip and I was like, what in the heck is she talking about? I'm so confused. The failed Stacey Abrams attempting to be governor of Georgia twice and lost, coming out here with this nonsense. If anybody can explain to me what in the F she was just talking about, please explain it to me in the comments, man, because I am confused. Anyway, now that we are past that, let's get into why we are actually here, and that is ICE deportations. But in this first clip, we got a self-deporter, and I think it's safe to say that they might be regretting it a bit. But let's dive in.
So it's officially been a week since my husband and I self-deported to Mexico with our 2 kids. There's been a lot of changes. This is one. This is my bathroom. Throne built for a queen. Yeah. We also take a shower outside with a bucket. We also cook on a wooden estufa. It's different, but we're together. We're not having to look over our shoulder and worry if somebody's going to take my husband away. We don't have to worry about major bills. We don't have a mortgage or
I would hope not.
Car payment or anything like that. It's beautiful here. All in all, I think we're happier. I'm happier. I know this lifestyle is different. It's an adjustment. It's an adjustment for me. Don't get it twisted. There's days where I'm just like, God, I just want to go to a normal bathroom. I just want to flush a toilet. Or I could really order a pizza right now. We've been mainly vegetarian since we got here. And your girl just wants a steak. But all in all, it's easier here. It's all the extras, it's just stuff. And I know, like, for my parents it's been hard because they want to see their little girl grow up to be a doctor or a lawyer or blah 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 blah. And all in all, I just want to be happy. I don't need all that. I've never needed all that. So this is my happy place, I think.
Nah, you ain't gonna convince me. Sorry. Nah, you ain't gonna convince me. Now, obviously, material things aren't everything, but, from time to time, material things sure are nice, okay? Now, if that's what, your only happiness comes from, then I believe it becomes a problem, but I don't see material things as being an issue or a problem. Hey, listen, I don't want to go take a dump in a place like that. I'm just saying, if you have to, you have to. It is what it is. I don't think I don't want to make it sound like I'm above, right? Doing what you got to do to survive. But if I had to make a choice, yeah, nah, I'm not choosing that life. But maybe I'm different. Y'all let me know in the comments. Would you choose to live that kind of life that she just described? You ain't got no bills, right? But you also don't have any steaks, at least not from the grocery store. Obviously, if you want to go, murder somebody's cow, good luck, right? But I hope you don't get caught, especially in another country. I mean, I guess you could go about it that way, and if you want to order a pizza, it's not possible. If you want internet, nope, you ain't got that either. But you ain't got any bills. Y'all let me know. Would you take that life? or would you keep the life you have? Let me know in the comments, all right? Next clip.
Of gangs on Long Island, nearly 40 alleged gang members arrested in a 4-day operation involving Nassau police and ICE. And among the crimes connected to some of the defendants, a machete attack at a soccer game and another at a laundromat in December. Long Island reporter Shantae Lands is live in Hempstead. Shantae?
Well, Sade, I can tell you another attack also happened here at Kennedy Park recently. Police say that a young man, was attacked by a machete in a case of mistaken identity. They thought he was a gang member. Well, this current operation is one of the largest takedowns, according to officials and Nassau County's history. Gang member takedowns across Nassau County, like this one of a Trinitario gang member arrested in Hempstead Sunday night with cocaine packaged to sell. This suspect was just one of 42 arrests in 4 days. 25 were gang members, mostly MS-13.
We want to send a clear message that gang activity in Nassau County will not be tolerated.
Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman was joined by ICE, Nassau County Police, and the District Attorney's Office.
These arrests are a testament to how committed we are in Nassau County to dismantling gangs and their toxic influence in our communities.
Guns, knives, machetes, and even miniature axes were taken during the takedown. 33 of the offenders are now in ICE custody without bond, pending removal.
If there was somebody who was apprehended and that individual was going to be released because of the cashless bail laws, we notified ICE. ICE came and picked them up so that they would not continue to do harm to our community.
ICE Enforcement Removal Operations Assistant Director Brian Flanagan.
During the incredible arrest of these individuals, some of ICE's worst of the worst were captured here in Nassau County.
A spike in gang crimes like shootings and stabbings prompted the takedown. Nassau police say the most egregious was a robbery and attempted murder at Hempstead's Kennedy Park.
4 MS-13 guys confronted a kid who suffered from a little cognitive issues. They confronted him as he was an 18th Street gang member. The kid was not. They hacked him with a machete and the kid ran.
Nassau Police Commissioner Patrick Ryder says the gang members chased the victim on foot for 2 miles into Roosevelt until he made it to safety. Police say they arrested 2 of the 4 suspects.
I'm going to take you back to 2017 when MS-13 was killing gang members, other gang members, or those who refused to join the gang. And you remember we covered about 9 bodies buried throughout Nassau County, all been hacked up, decapitated, and buried in shallow graves.
That is absolutely wild stuff right there. But hey, that's who the Democrat Party wants us to live amongst, right? They are pushing hard for illegal immigrants. It's terrible that Trump is deporting the illegals. Next clip, man.
And an NBC Washington reporter was in the street, and her name is Amy Cho. And Amy Cho, right near the mall, spotted some law enforcement activity going on. There were a bunch of federal law enforcement, local D.C. police officers surrounding a blue hatchbacked vehicle. And that's where they encountered this man who gets out of his car at the request of police. And then they say, I think they're trying to get him to either lie down or show them his hands, and he makes a run for it. Look at him. He makes a break for it, and the cops tackle him immediately. That was the worst attempt to blast the A-gap I've ever seen, and they take him down in a second. I want to get his screaming while he's on the ground. Listen to this. Watch this, fellas. Watch. He's screaming in Spanish. And apparently, he's saying, I'm doing nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. Without any question whatsoever. You had people like Jessica Tarlov tweeting about how awful this is. You had NBC reporters going, oh my gosh, what is happening in America? You had lefties saying, this is not what anyone voted for. Look what is happening to this poor man. Of course, just like every one of these stories, you find out like seconds later
how terrible of a person he actually was.
That this guy was totally, legitimately taken into custody. Take a look at this post. This is Amy Cho. This is the NBC Washington reporter saying his name is David Perez Tiafani and that he was arrested in Fairfax County in 2024, that's last year, and charged with aggravated sexual battery against a minor under 13. Under 13. And of course, the left fell for the sob story the second the guy started sobbing while he was being taken into custody. Why do you think that guy tried to hit the A-gap so quickly? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. It's time to go. Adios.
Yeah. Adios. Bro, and if you're charged with that, how in the world do you get out? Like, that's just crazy to me. That is absolutely wild. It should be a mandatory minimum, if not of the death penalty. I mean, at least most of the rest of your natural life. It should be a mandatory minimum, 50 years. 50. Mandatory minimum. You do that to little kids, 50 years. Automatic. No questions asked, no debates. Maybe it could be longer. Maybe you could get the death penalty, but it's absolutely going to be a minimum of 50 years. 50. And now you're about to go in a box with a bunch of people who don't like your type. Yeah, so have fun with that. Have fun with that. The same way you terrorize that little child, you're probably about to be terrorized too. Yeah, and the guards ain't gonna always be there to help you. And I don't feel bad for you. Not one bit. Not one bit at all. Here's another story.
Back here at home, a 15-year-old is dead after he was hit by an alleged drunk driver. This happened last night at around 7 o'clock on Magnolia Boulevard. According to the Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office, the boy was airlifted to a local hospital where he later died from his injuries. Juan Alfredo Chavarria Lezama was arrested on multiple charges, including vehicular homicide. The sheriff says that they determined that Lezama's blood alcohol was 2 times the legal limit. This crash is still under investigation. Back here at home, a 15-year-old...
Absolutely wild, man. 15-year-old kid. Hadn't even really started his life yet. Cut off. Lights turned off because Democrats wanted illegals here. So sad, man. So sad.
Being dubbed the Cornhusker Clink, and it is the 3rd state partnership that DHS has announced, and this one is in Nebraska, and it's going to add roughly 300 beds for ICE to hold illegal immigrants. So this one, as you mentioned, in the southwest corner of the state, it's actually going to be at the Work Ethic Camp in McCook. That one is going to have room to house up to 280 individuals marked for deportation. The expansion was made possible by what's called the One Big Beautiful Bill, as I'm sure you're aware of, the law that fully funded the 287G program and added 80,000 new ICE detention beds nationwide. Secretary Noem thanking the governor for the partnership. Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen saying, quote, "I am pleased that our facility and team in McCook can be tasked with helping our federal partners protect our homeland by housing criminal illegal aliens roaming our country's communities today." This, as Nebraska State Patrol is moving to sign a 287G agreement so that troopers will actually be working directly with ICE. And Governor Pillen has ordered about 20 National Guard soldiers to support that mission, with training set to begin next week. Now, this marks, as I mentioned, the 3rd such agreement. We have Alligator Alcatraz in Florida, the Speedway Slammer in Indiana. Then this one, adding to the mix there, they've got about 3,300 beds at their disposal that they'll be able to use when all is said and done with these 3 facilities in these states. Now, we did ask about Deportation Depot because that one's also in Florida. DHS got back to us, Nicole, and said that one is a supplemental facility right now.
Yeah, plenty of beds to put these folks right before they're deported. I love it. I love it, and I'm all for it, and I don't mind our tax dollars going towards it because it's what has to be done, unfortunately. Now, does it suck that we have to spend our tax dollars on it? Would I like them to go towards something else or just like not tax us as much in general? Yeah, I would, but this is something that has to be done. It has to be done. So, listen, I don't mind it at all. I don't mind it at all. But y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your feelings about all of this. Let me know. Would you agree to live the life that lady at the very beginning of the show was living? Out in the wilderness, it seemed. You know, no bills, no nothing. But she claimed to be happy. Y'all let me know. I wouldn't choose it. Not at all. No thanks. Not for me. But that's just me. Let me know your opinion. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.